make or miss league.
I'm not really sure about that.
It's a make or miss league.
Rachel, it's a make or miss league. How many times do I have to tell you?
So good. Make window seats. Derek Jones, also known as airplane mode, taking the lob from Goran Dragic.
Goodness.
Just flunks it
Look
in.
how far away the ball is from the rim.
Yo.
It's
And
the
his
plus in the air.
teammates throw it there because they know he can finish it.
Wow, he's looking into the rim.
That's like Sir Isaac Newton stuff. Like he's just like, defying gravity, bye.
He
He
just
got serious hops, man.
look how far away it is from the rim. His teammates threw it there knowing he could finish it. I want to say that again.
Brian, you couldn't do that off a trampoline, huh?
I couldn't do that on a 6-foot hoop.
Standing up. We went down to the NBA Experience this summer at Disney World, and you can dunk on different sized hoops. I'm still too short to dunk on.
Did you do it in your high heels, though?
I did. I actually did try. We were in the middle of a show,
Almost
so there you go.
stick
Misbalance. Danilo Gallinari loses his shoe late in the fourth, and then plays the entire defensive possession with it in his hand. Now, I talked on the show yesterday about Mike Miller's shoe thing, right, during the NBA Finals that one year. But in this case, should he just take the foul?
Well,
Throw the shoe. That's what Mike Miller did.
I'm really mad at whoever he's guarding. Just go get the ball.
Right.
Go get the ball. He can't guard you.
With the shoe?
Right.
Wait a minute, though. Why doesn't he just throw the shoe?
He's trying to put it back on. He thinks he
throw
can
the
get
shoe.
it back on. He's far enough away from the play. He thinks he can get
Aaron
it back
Gordon,
on.
get the ball. Your man has one shoe on.
In his hand. It's not just on.
Come on,
he's
AG. I
carrying
got to
it.
talk to you about this.
And yeah, there we go. Make displays, Trae Young. Welcome back, Trae Young. First of all, getting LaMarcus Aldridge on a switch. Decides to pick on him before dishing it to DeAndre Bembry, right? Little slam there. So we have any shades of Stevie Francis on Troy Hudson? Want to bring back one of your former guys.
Okay, look.
Well, first,
LaMarcus Aldridge played good defense here.
he did.
He's got his hands down. He's not going to foul. He's not going to foul.
Standing straight up.
He's not going to foul. The Spurs don't foul. Sends him to the help. It's DeMar DeRozan who falls asleep on the help.
That pass is insane. I'm sorry. I know we're focusing on what happened before the
He
pass.
did a nice
but I love
job
the
on
pass.
defense. And by the way, Troy Hudson did a good job there, except when he jumped.
Disrespectful right there.
Look, good D, don't foul. Good D, send him to the help. The Hope defense failed right there, DeMar DeRozan. What are we talking
My
about?
boy T-Hud like that. Hey, T-Hud, that wasn't me, man.
Awareness. Back to Atlanta off a missed corner three. Damian Jones accidentally tips it in the wrong basket.
I'm trying. Have I ever done that? No, I never. I've never.
But if it happened, you would be raising your hand saying, give me the bucket.
Then later in the quarter, Rudy Gay has plenty of time left on the clock, but he hoists it up from the half court.
No, he did not.
Anyway. Yep.
Not even half court.
Yeah, but behind.
Rudy.
All right, so which is more of the mishap?
Well, throwing up with 8 seconds left.
Yeah, that's.
The tipping can happen.
Maybe,
anyone.
Rudy's
Your
getting.
sense of awareness is just not there in that
Maybe
game
it's
tonight.
Rudy's getting a little older and the 2 8s look like zeros.
He was in Atlanta,
Remember you needed.
hanging out night
Was it Chris
before.
Paul who needed LASIK surgery? Maybe that's what
A
happened.
lot of guys got LASIK. LeBron got LASIK.
Make attention. Some good passes last night, so get your rating scorecards out. First in Chicago.
This is incredible right here.
That curveball to Quinn Cook, that was beautiful.
Are you talking about the incredible defense by the Bulls in that position?
Yeah, totally
Nobody
what you
moved.
would want to
Nobody
be doing.
get hurt.
Oh, man, that was.
Trae Young in the first quarter. Little no-look slam.
It is some great defense being
Right?
played this year. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. I mean,
And Nikola Jokic, bounce pass to Monty Morris. Best
Watch the
shot.
Bulls here, though, real quick. What's going on? I mean, it was a great pass, don't get me wrong, but I think it's Jokic, Trace, because it's a harder window to hit, even though they were all great passes. Again, watch the Bulls.
look at Zach LaVine boxing out.
Nobody's hands up.
I thought Jokic played his best game of the season last night.
Well, that's saying something, because it still wasn't that great.
I'm just saying. I thought I watched the second half. He looked more like
He
himself.
was engaged.
There you go. LeBron heard it all coming into this year, right? He's old, he's washed up, his decline. Now, after 3 straight triple-doubles and leading his team to a 6-1 start, LeBron showing the league not ready to be thrown yet. Here was his tweet from last night. Take a look. Washed King. Believe that there was a conversation in the locker room between LeBron and AD discussing whether he was really washed or not.
I've
As
never
you
heard
imagine,
anybody
that
say
may
that.
be in jest. To your point, Tracy, I'm not sure anyone has come up and said, well, I mean, who knows? I don't know what happens on radio shows or other networks. But
well, LeBron was upset over the summer. Remember, he tweeted, like, I'm remembering what people were saying. I keep my mouth shut, but I remember what people were saying. And LeBron is, I don't think he'd ever say it, but I think he would love to average a triple-double. And I think that's one of the, I mean, you know, he doesn't chase stats, but he chases stats. And I don't know if it's even feasible, but he's leading the league in assists.
Of course it is.
You know.
For him to average a triple-double, he could have did that his whole career, to be honest with you.
Do you think, so obviously coming into the season after what Kawhi Leonard did in the finals, there was talk, hey, Kawhi is the best player coming into this year, and we can say that especially because Kevin Durant is out for the season, and look what happened to LeBron, not even with the groin injury, but when he came back from it, he just clearly wasn't himself, right? And maybe this is the year he turns 35, we're talking about Kawhi. Well, Kawhi is still doing load management, right? LeBron is putting this performance out. Where are you on who the best player in the NBA is right now?
LeBron's load management is coming soon. It's coming. Best players, I can't hand that ring over to LeBron just yet. I mean, he was out last year. I'm looking what Kawhi did in that playoff run, which was historic. Won a championship, come into this season leading his Clippers and basically doing the same thing. So I give it to Kawhi right now.
Until LeBron brings back his old school defense, like Kawhi plays regularly, I don't think it's a debate, but he's playing great defense to start the season.
And by the way, if the question is whether he is the second best or first best player in the league, none of that is a conversation over whether he is washed, but I like that he's finding the motivation.
I really don't think it matters because we're going to see these two teams at the end, and that's
go ahead. That will
right.
decide it. Coming up, we're going to talk about Karl Anthony Towns, speaking about his scuffle with Joel Embiid, saying, quote, I had to defend myself. We will discuss that next in another edition of BS or Real Talk. Lock it. I'm Windhorst, Tracy McGrady. I want to get to a segment where we get to the truth here at The Jump.
The ball deserves to go in the crowd after a bull move like that.
I think it's bull. I just thought it was bull.
Don't give me that crap!
Oh yes, it's time for BS or Real Talk. We give you the quotes. These guys will give us the emojis to react to them. First up, Karl Anthony Towns is not sorry for his role in last week's scuffle with Joel Embiid. Here is what Kat had to say about his role in the incident. Quote, listen, I am going to defend myself. I ain't going to take nothing. That's a very, he says, talented player. I just had to defend myself in that situation. Mac, is Kat saying he had to defend himself in that situation? BS or Real Talk?
That's real talk. You better defend yourself. You are a man at the end of the day.
He started it.
So finish it. Start it and finish.
Okay, once they were scuffling, I understand he's got to defend himself. He started it. Joel was on defense to start the...
What has been the tag on Minnesota and Cat? That they're soft. Right. So don't you like to see that?
I didn't. That wasn't the question. The question was BS or Real Talk. I had to defend myself.
Well, maybe he's talking though about defending himself from the onslaught of the last 3 years.
He's got to defend his honor?
I'm saying he has to defend himself from all the soft talk.
Okay. If he's defending his honor, it's Real Talk. If he's defending himself from attack, it's BS.
There was a lot. We showed that night. There was a lot going up unto that particular incident, back and forth between the two of them.
Several years,
we know there has been back and forth, as you said.
You know the instigator that Embiid is. He's instigating that all.
I will say I heard from a lot of vets around the league after that. They were happy that Kat stood up for himself in that situation. Next up, we're going to talk about the Bulls because Coach Jim Boylen chose to roll with his bench when the Lakers opened up the fourth quarter on a 29-4 run. Here's Boylen about his decision. Take a listen here.
Because I'm going to develop this bench, I'm going to develop this team. I got 15 guys to develop, and I'm going to play them in those moments, and they're going to learn how to play winning basketball. I've never yanked guys. I've never done that.
Brian, Tracy, is Jim Boylen saying he was, just trying to develop his bench in that moment? BS or Real Talk?
We're having one of these days. All right. Do you need to develop a bench? Yes. But about him never pulling anybody, It was a year ago where he benched all of his starters for the last 20 minutes of the game to say that they needed to get ready to practice the next day after a back-to-back, where there was almost a mutiny.
You're living in the past like last December, not even a year ago.
He learned from his mistake. I actually like this. Like, get these young guys in early, let them go through the fire, and, you know, when that
They're
situation
going through the fire right now. They've blown like 5 fourth-quarter leads.
I'd rather them get it in now than later on in the season. So, the real talk.
Moving on, let's see if we can find agreement somewhere. Gordon Hayward went 16 for 16 with that, you know, that mid-range jumper no one's allowed to take anymore inside the three-point line, but he didn't seem too excited about it. Here's what Hayward had to say after the game.
No player since there has been a three-point line has gone 16 for 16 from inside the arc. I mean, that's crazy.
It seems like a pointless stat to me. I mean, I think it was a good night. Maybe I shouldn't have shot those threes then, kept shooting the twos.
I don't know if he's saying 16 for, like specifically 16 for 16 as opposed to 17 for 17 is the pointless stat. But do you think overall, guys, the fact that he was perfect from inside the three is pointless or not pointless?
It's not pointless, man.
Let me tell you why it's pointless.
Please tell me why it's pointless.
Talk.
I don't think it's pointless being that, look where this guy come from, 2 years ago, right? How ironic that he breaks his leg in Cleveland, comes back 2 years later, and have a game like this. This right here should propel him to excellence for the rest of the season.
Hey, it was a wonderful performance from him. The reason he's right is, did you watch the Cleveland defense in this game?
Oh, now we blaming it on me.
I mean,
that's throughout the entire league.
So you're saying it's pointless if he accomplishes anything because he accomplished it against Cleveland?
I'm telling you, go back and watch it.
Was it layups or jumpers? He was shooting jumpers.
I mean, Kevin,
Kevin,
what are we doing? I mean, I'm sorry, like Chetty Osman and Kevin Love were
jumpers.
Oh, come on, man.
Jumper.
Man.
That's a tough shot.
Okay, that one I'll give. Oh, that wide open 9-footer. Look, it was a great performance by him, all due respect. I love that he's playing better again. It's nothing against Gordon. The Cavs defense last night on Hayward
Come on, man.
was embarrassing, all the way down to the last minute of the game where Chetty Osman fell asleep and he got a putback layup to clinch the game.
Hating right now.
Here's what I like, because I know your mother pays attention to the Cavs because you're from Ohio, and you are going to hear from your mom for the fact that we're doing a segment on Gordon Hayward, and you have turned it into haterism on the Cavs.
That's what analysis
I want to get to Rudy Gobert. He is asking for a bigger role in the Jazz offense. Here is what Gobert had to tell reporters. This is interesting. Here's the quote. When you have a guy that's 7'2", who can catch the ball and finish under the rim, you have to use it. We haven't done it the last 2 years against the Rockets, and we're not doing it right now, so I'm hoping we can work on it. It's on me, he says, to get into good positions at the rim, and at the same time, it's on my teammates to want to find me. Tracy McGrady is Gobert saying it's on his teammates' desire to find him, BS or real talk.
I'm like this.
Yeah, the perimeter player says, just get down there and rebound and throw the ball back out to me.
Listen, last time I was on this kid, it was 2 years ago in the playoffs when they were playing against the Rockets. Rockets switches everything.
Yep.
So you got a point guard guarding Rudy Gobert. And he couldn't do anything when the point guard switched on him. So if anything has changed from 2 years from now where they could actually throw in the ball and he does some work, I'm all for it, real talk. But until I see that, it's BS.
He's averaging almost 3 shots a game less than he did last year.
So what do you think of the fact that he is this is really public? I mean, he is specifically calling out.
Let's see if we can work on that.
Airing the dirty laundry. I'm not getting the ball as much as I should. They need to find me more. We need to work on it.
Well, it is.
That's unusual for this team.
A big man making himself available, demanding the ball versus getting the ball is his argument as old as time in the NBA. And I'm sure that's some of it. But he's getting 3 less shots a game. I mean, this guy's an all-star. He's never going to be like leading scorer.
Well, I mean they improved their team, though, right? Bogdanovich, Conley. So yeah, it's going to be.
Conley shooting 32%. I think maybe some of those.
It changes sometimes require an adjustment.
I think there's probably, if I went and looked at every single Jazz possession, which I have not, my guess is that there could be a meeting in the middle there. But I do believe that.
He's just never, to me, been a guy that we could throw the ball to and say, get us buckets. Right. He's always on the receiving end.
So you don't throw it to him 25 times, but how about like 8 times?
Start off the game. We used to do that to some guys. Right?
Now he's talking like a
right,
perimeter player.
Right, there you go.
Hey, first play of the game.
Show me.
That's all I want to see.
There you go. Brian, thank you so much for joining us. You'll be back tomorrow. Coming up, you guys stay with us because we will talk about which team from tonight's Bucks-Clippers matchup has a better shot to make the finals. Malika Andrews is going to join us next, so stick with us. Oh, look, it's the Jump Recommends for today. Zach Lowe, exploring where Steph Curry's place is amongst the all-time greats. Check it out on ESPN.com, or you can just find it on your app.
It's among them. 3 titles and 2 MVPs.